So I know some of you have been asking for Marcille guide. I don't actually have Marcille, so I've just found the best translation I could. It's gonna be a bit of a janky translation, but we can just take a look at Marcille. And Marcille's a cool destroyer unit, quite a fun unit to play, and if you're a fan of the series, you might enjoy going for this unit. Again, I don't know a lot about this unit to make my final decision about her, but I do think she has Samantha SB kind of overshadowing her, and Samantha SB is not far away. And she's kind of Samantha SB is kind of the ultimate DPS unit, magic DPS unit. But Marcille is a limited only character, so she has that in her favor. Powerful AoE with some support and recovery as well. And apparently she has high energy consumption. So if we take a look at her traits, so she's going to increase magic attack and HP by 3% at 1 stars, 6% at 2 stars, 9%, 12%, and then 15% at 5 stars. It says here at the start of the battle, I think it's the battle, I don't think it's the start of the turn. I might have to check her out when she actually comes out just to confirm this translation. But at the start of the battle, gain 1 up to 2 at 5 stars magical charge. And also when you go on standby, you gain 0 at 1 stars, 0 at 2 stars, at 3 stars you get 1, 2, and then 5 stars you get 2 of this magical charge. Also healing effect and damage dealt is increased by the following percentages for each star, for each one energy that she has. So this magic charge that she can get, it's going to be a buff, and it's going to increase damage by 20%. I think that's for each charge she has, and then also going to increase skill range by 1. So yeah, she has the ability to do very wide AoE damage. When a professional skill is activated, recover 2 energy and removes 1 of her magical charges, stacks up to 2 times. So this magical charge can only accumulate up to 2 stacks, which means you can get a maximum, I'm guessing, of 2 extra range, which is still decent, and up to 40% damage. Yeah, damage up to 40%. Then we take a look at her initial skills. This one has a 3 energy cost. It's going to do 140% AoE magic damage to a specific target. Area removes 5 buffs from the target before attacking. If you have magic charge, deals 30% additional damage to the target and enemies within 3 squares of the target, and disables status buffs for 1. That's cool. 140% plus the 30%, that's going to be 170%. Plus your extra 40% from her magic charges, that's going to be 210% AoE magic damage. I'm thinking that's to all enemies. Got a height range there, 5'3". Rank 1 skills. On the left we have that aura to reduce AoE damage for allies by 25%. On the right side we've got this magical recovery passive. When going into standby, gain 1 magical charge. If there are already 2 magical charges, allies within 3 tiles of Marcille will receive 1 energy, recover 20% HP, and gain attack 2 for 2 turns. Alright, this is cool. So she gets 1 energy from her trait, and then she gets 1 from her, or rather at 3 stars she gets 2 magical charges at the start of the battle. So she will be at 2 charges at the beginning of the battle, and so if she has 2 charges, then allies within 3 tiles around her receive extra energy. So she can be an energy battery for your team. That's pretty cool. This is just a passive, so as long as she ends her turn, a bit of healing there for them, and attack 2 as well. And just to recap, the magical charge is a buff, increased damage by 20%, range by 1 per stack, and when a professional skill is activated, you recover 2 energy. At rank 3 we have a skill on the left here, which is going to be a support skill. It's not an instant. Allies within 3 tiles of Marcille gain +1 movement and movement debuff immunity for 2 turns. If magic charge is active, they gain +2 movement and immunity to freeze and burn tiles. That's pretty cool. She likes to keep some charges on her, that way she can increase some of these buffs. Plus movement 2 is pretty cool as well, but it's not an instant support, so I feel like it's a waste of a turn, but it is alright. And the skill on the right there, I think we know this one already, most of us. Passive when healthy, attack up 8%, damage plus 10%. When not, when having no debuffs, attack up 8% and damage plus 10%. Now this is actually not too bad. I think this would be quite decent to run on her if she is actually getting this. If she can actually go up to 36% more or less damage, that would be really good. For her reaction, rank 5 on the left, kind of looks like her unique reaction skill here. Magic counter attack, reaction magic damage taken reduced by 15%. Before receiving an active magic attack, activates a preemptive attack to interrupt the enemy's action once per turn. I love this. Similar to Inanna SP, just to get that, I think you interrupt the enemy, so stopping them from attacking. Also giving a damage reduction for magic damage. Survival master on the right side there, when hit by an active attack, damage reduced by 8%. Environmental damage taken is reduced by 70%. That's situational. I don't know if it's worth it to Castalia, something that's situational for Marcille. At rank 7, we have a skill on the left, looks like her unique skill, and then that's Karis's skill, I think she's borrowing. So this one is an instant recovery, recovers HP of a single target by 120% of magic attack and grants movement 5 for 1 turn. Wow, that is movement 5, okay. It's got 3 energy costs, quite high cost, and it is only for 1 target. I'm kind of torn, I'm not sure if I would actually take that, but it is an instant. It's a nice big heal. Yeah, I think maybe I would run that. Not sure yet. Magical power attack, magic damage, deals 60% AoE damage to enemies, and magic defense down 3 for 2 turns. So yeah, Karis's skill that gives them this magic defense down 3. Problem is, it's got a high energy cost. Don't know if you can pull that off. But Marcille does recover energy when she uses professional skills. But this is more for if you need to beat a boss. Normal attacks on the left, we have 80% magic damage. Disable active skills. On the right is Marcille's unique single target attack. Normal attack. Deals 80% magic damage to a single target. Each magic charge before the attack increases damage by 30% and removes 1 buff. I really like this. So she's doing 80% damage. Correct me if I'm wrong here. She also gets 40% from the trait. Is that 120%? If she has, let's say, 2 magical charges, 120% plus that would be 180% magical damage to a single target. It's not bad for a single target attack. That's a really nice and unique skill for her. So, if you have 2 charges of this magic, yeah, I'm right. Yeah, the 80% base damage is doubled, so you go up to what's that? 160%. Not quite 180%. I think he's missing one of them. Anyway, so yeah, without the magical charges, she's doing 4080 damage. With one of these magical charges, 6015 damage, and then with 2 magical charges she does basically 8000. So yeah, double the damage there. Oh yeah, okay, so it's a 1-star Marcille. That's why it's increased power for each energy. It's not affected by the increase for each energy held, so it can go higher than this when you go to like 3 stars. We move finally to rank 11 over here. She got 2 Marcille unique skills here. So the one on the left is going to be magic damage. You prepare for 1 turn, kind of like Karis. Deals 140% damage and movement down 1 for 1 turn to enemies within 3 tiles of the target. While preparing, enemies within the target range receive movement down 2 and vulnerability 2. So that's not bad. It's better than how Karis's skill works, because at least she's applying penalties to the enemies while she's waiting to launch this attack. I like that. It's not bad. It's also really good because it's applying this movement down 2. so that they cannot escape her range. And I find with Karis, when she's preparing a move, enemies just move out of her range. Also the vulnerability, she's softening them up before she hits them. Okay, so yeah, this guy is saying when the magic charges are full, so when you have 2 charges, the range is set to 3 to 6. So she's increasing the range. Remember, the range increases with the charges she gets, and the damage, the 140% multiplied by 1.4 with the extra charges while preparing the debuffs movement, making it difficult to, yeah, so he says the same thing there. It's difficult for them to escape. The skill on the right, this one is going to be magical damage, deals 100% damage to enemies within 3 tiles of the target, and removes 3 buffs. When charged with magic, when you have magic charges, the range expands to 4 tiles and ignores 20% of the enemy's defense. So I think this is her only penetrating damage she has. Most of the damage is just straight raw damage, unfortunately. This one has a bit of penetrating damage. Massive range as well, but not as high numbers here. Let's see what they say here. A special move with a dramatic effect. So base damage, yeah, is a little low. But yeah, you just get this incredible range. You can use this on special stages as well. Compare that range from the skill on the left to that one. The energy costs are both 4, and it's, yeah, so she is expensive with energy. But her trait kind of makes up for that when she recovers energy by using professional skills. And then for her Ascension skill, it's a passive at level 3 of this Ascension skill. So magical charge, increased damage dealt plus 10%, and damage taken is reduced by 10% for each magical charge. When magical charge is 2, the movement speed is increased by 1. Wow. I mean, it's gonna be tough getting to level 3, but this does make Marcille go up a level. Yeah, so Marcille, Drifter, Aggression. You can run the Magicians. She's all about AoE, so she's gonna do more damage with the Magician there. This to increase her magic attack a little bit and stuff. And you want to get weapons that also increase magical AoE damage. Let's see her astral weapon here. Magic attack plus 5. This is 5 stars. Only 5% increase in magic attack, but you get 15% increase in AoE damage. After an AoE attack, you can move 2 spaces again with a cooldown of 2 turns. Not bad. Yeah, so that's as much information as I can get for Marcille at the moment. I'm gonna try her trial, and then I'm actually gonna pull for each of the collab units, because I think they come with a 50% discount on the first 10 pulls. So I'll probably pull 10 pulls on Marcille, just try my luck there. But I'll look at a trial and try to see a bit more closely how she performs. Yeah, I think the problem with Marcille is she just has Samantha SP sort of hanging over her. Samantha SP is not far away, and Samantha SP is just gonna do ridiculous amounts of AoE damage. Not just once, multiple times. She's doing incredible crit damage as well. But I still think, this is just a personal opinion, I think Marcille is a cool unit. I think she can still be used. Even if you had a Samantha SP, you can still use Marcille and play a fun unit to play as well. I mean, it's not often you're going to get an elf unit, and it is a limited time unit. Somebody mentioned in the comments, these units, you know, they're limited time only, so you can never get them once you miss them. But what do you guys think? I'm gonna lean more on you guys. A lot of you know her more than me. What other ideas do you have, and what gear would be best for her as well? Hope this was helpful for those of you who are looking at Marcille, and yeah, take care guys, God bless.